The immediate question that comes to my mind after reading today's gospel is, can I serve more than one master? Can I serve 2, 3, 4 masters? And I'm thinking, well, duh, I do. I came from Poland. I'm still a citizen of Poland, and I'm supporting U.S. government living here, paying my dues and taxes and Medicare and Social Security, all that stuff. So I do serve 2 masters. I still love my country of origin, and I serve the U.S. The same thing with military chaplains who serve God and country in the same time. Their motto is Pro Deo et Patria, for God and country. They serve the Lord, but in the same time, they support the troops, even though maybe they don't believe in the war, but they have to support the troops. So they're kind of people who serve 2 masters. And I'm sure you have more and more examples that you can give me. Or even you are the ones who serve more than one master. Father Mark mentioned in the beginning of the Mass that we have to work, we have to slave ourselves 5 days a week. Some of us 7 days a week. So you can serve the masters. So you can serve the mammon, so we can support ourselves, we can support our families, so we can have a good life, or decent life, I would say. Because it seems like the more we work lately, the less money we have. There's never enough. We live from check to check, from one payroll to another payroll. Can you serve 2 masters? And who is our master? Who is our number 1 master? Who is our God? We even put it on the money. We say, in God we trust. Well, who is the God that's on our money that we trust? I know we trust rich people. We trust rich politicians. You will never see a poor president. He wouldn't be able to afford the campaign to be the president. We were joking about it yesterday, that only in Poland it's possible that the guy who didn't graduate high school, it was a simple electrician, became a president. In this country, it's impossible. We trust rich people. We believe that since they manage well their money, they're able to manage well our government. Right? No? Right? No. We don't trust rich people. I mean, we say we do trust them, but later on, we don't trust the rich people. But we never choose the poor ones, neither. Talking about trusting God and slaving ourselves, there's so many desires that we slave ourselves into, so many temptations, so many needs that we put in the first place instead of God. There's always that risk. And what to do not to fall into that risk? Well, we got the answer right there from the second reading. You know, we had the mediator, Jesus Christ. As Christians, Christian community, we have that foundation, the basic foundation that we're supposed to go into every time we fall into the risk of serving other gods. Yesterday, I had a privilege of presiding over my first wedding. So it was very exciting. It was very exciting. My first wedding, they told me it was very casual, but it was a good wedding. Anyways, I'm used to seeing weddings where people lit 2 candles and then they put the 1 unity candle. Well, this couple chose something different. They chose the sandbox. Well, they would put the layers of sand into a sandbox and then they would close it. So they asked me to put the first layer of sandbox. What was the symbolism behind it? Since I represent the church, they said that will be the foundation of their marriage. The first layer of that sandbox will be foundation of their marriage. That will be the Christ, their foundation. Then there were the parents who put the layers of sand. a brother and their son. And then we closed the box. And I thought, wow, that's the answer to today's reading. Every time it rains, every time the sand gets muddy, if you want to look for what's right, you just dig in. You just go into that foundation. The foundation, that's Christ. I wish it was that easy to dig into that dirt and realize that the foundation is right there. Sometimes it's hard because there's so many things going on in the world, working 5, 6, 7 days a week. Sometimes it's hard for us to find that foundation or to refound it, find it again, to come to Christ. I know you are the churchgoers because I see most of you most of the time here. So you know that your foundation is here. But sometimes it's hard for others to reach for that foundation. Any football fans here? Yeah. 100%? Yeah? Well, good luck to your team and go Bears. Anyways, we just started the football season. So we're watching the college football, and I'm really glued into the games. I'm excited for every football team that's out there. I coming from the other country and coming here, I had to find my own sport to follow, and it's we don't have football in Poland, so I had to learn the rules, and I didn't know why they had all those gears and all that stuff. So, but anyways, I follow the football, so I watch it, and I also started reading the news about football, how dirty game it is. Sports Illustrated a couple of weeks ago had a great article. It's titled "The Dirty Game." Sex, drugs, cash, fraud, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And I'm sure you know what I'm referring to. It's talking about the boosters, the ones that would pay cash under the table to the players to motivate them. Or for the players who play better than others to motivate them to become better players. Interesting enough, none of those players ever finished college. None of those players ever became good players or became professionals. Some fall into the drugs, into drinking, lost the track, stopped playing. The dirty game. It's so easy today to fall into this pattern of fame, of that master serving that other master, that we forgot what's our basic foundation. And I'm not saying they were all Christians and they have to dig for Christ. Whatever religion they were, whatever morals they brought from their home, whatever it was, they lost it. They lost their foundation and they never made it. They never made it. Sport is beautiful. Football is awesome. I love the game. I love counting the yards and arguing with the referee every time I disagree and all that stuff. It's great. But if we serve more than one God, we serve more than one master, we lose it, the beauty of the game. We lose the beauty and we start serving the other God. Too much of everything and not enough God is never good. And I'm sure you know it already. Too much of everything is never good. Father Mark encouraged us last week, not encouraged us, but told us that gambling is okay, a little bit of drinking is okay, having fun is okay. In moderation, of course, in moderation. That's what he meant, in moderation. You know, you have to have that little check to check yourself. Oh, I don't know, if I go gambling, I don't know if there's check, as long as I know I don't spend more than I have in my pocket. But always in moderation is good. If we lose it, we have to look for help. That's obvious. And sometimes it's hard to look for help. We can call 1-800-GAMBLING. We can go for AA groups if we drink. Their help is out there. It's just hard to go and look for that help. It's hard to get out of that, serving the other master, and go look for help. So today's mammon is not only money, but other things. Work could be a mammon too. And I'm not saying that getting rich is a bad thing. Jesus didn't say that neither. He said, make sure you use it right. If you can be rich and if you can make money, God bless you. I can't do that. But if you're a good business manager, if you're a good manager, if you own your company, that's great. I mean, make as much as you can. If you know how to do it, do it. But make sure you use it, and while pursuing it, you don't lose God. You don't lose the right master. It's okay to have money. It's okay to be rich. Make sure that you don't live for that money. Make sure you don't wake up and the very first thought is, how much am I going to make today? Possessions and possessing money is not condemned by Jesus, neither by the church. What's encouraged, though, is the simplicity in whatever you're doing, simplicity in making money. Make sure you spend it on the right things. Make sure you don't waste it. It's a God's gift to you, a gift of wealth, a gift of help, a gift of helping others. You can help others while having a lot of money. Make sure you don't lose your dignity over making money. You can be a good manager, not so much like the one from today's gospel, who wasted everything. But if it's the God I'm talking about, he gave him a chance. He knew what he did. He knew he lost it, but he gave him a chance. He saw him fixing everything. The way he did it was a little questionable. But he was able to fix it. He fixed it. And I believe that's what God does to us often. He sees us messing up all the time, wasting our money, our resources, gambling, over-gambling. But he gives us a chance to come back and, press that reset button and say, you know what? It's going to be a better day. It's going to be a better week. It's going to be a better year because I am the manager of my resources. And I know that God is my foundation. St. Augustine said that when God is in the first place, everything else in the first place. We just need to make sure that God is our master number one, and he is in the first place. And that way, everything else will be in the right place.